to part 2 of Esmodie's Kitchen, yeah? I start the timer and I'll tell you why, the story behind that in a bit. So some of you might have guessed, and I thought there is no point. So hang on, just turn the vendetta on, hang on. You're not going to bloody hear anything, are you? The reason behind the timer, in fact, shall we leave that as a mystery? Does anybody know why I've got a stopwatch in here? If you have, leave a comment under today's episode. And the winner can have half a rotten onion. What about that, eh? What do you say to that? It's worth it, isn't it? Always worth it. Right, what am I doing now? I'm going to chop this white onion up because I think a chilli without an onion is like fish without chips. It is inconceivable that you do not chop an onion into a chilli. So I'm going to do that right now. I want to do it right now. I'm from here, the boss. Remember, anyone watch Emu when they were growing up? Rod Hull and Emu. Sadly, and this is a true story as well, I'll tell you about this. Some of you already know it, some of you won't. Sadly, Rod was watching, he's a Manchester United fan, and he was trying to get a reception on his television for the United match, and he couldn't pick it up. It was Champions League, it was a big game, and you know, he was getting a bit pissed off, so he went up on his roof to fiddle with the what do you call it? The aerial, that's it. And he slipped and fell off. So, you know, sadly he fell, and the rest is history. But what a man! What a man! You know, you don't get icons like that anymore. You know, when I was growing up, it was all about Rod Hull and Emu, Rainbow, Rolf's Cartoon Club. Does anybody, going back to the Rod Hull and Emu thing, does anybody remember Croc off the, you know, Grotbags, the witch, the green-faced witch? Anybody remember Croc? Yes, Mrs. Grotbags! No, Mrs. Grotbags! Please don't hurt me, Mrs. Grotbags! Well, I remember seeing Croc in the street one day. Have you seen what's happened to him? He looks so much older these days, and sadly, he was coming out of Bargain Booze. I was going in for some fizzy stuff about 3 weeks ago, and he was coming out there, and he was loaded down with bottles of cheap vodka, vodka, you know, that mix of rubbish that you sometimes say, oh, I'll have a bottle of that, that's cheaper, and you get out and you realise it's fucking half-strength rubbish, and you don't want that. But anyway, Croc was coming out of there, and yeah, he was weighed down with vodka, cider, wines, brandies, spirits, you know, and Redford, the robot, was there. He only had a few cans, Redford, you know what I mean? He was a robot about town, he was having a few cans, and yeah, you know, sad demise, you know. I think they needed Rob there as guidance, and God knows what's happened to Emu, to be honest. I ain't seen him around these days. Don't see him around these parts these days. I'm rambling again. So it's time, I'm going to have to wash my hands later, because you noticed, I don't know if you guys at home know this, yes, Gordon Ramsay here. I don't know if you know this, but when you chop an onion, this one's not made me cry for some reason. Most onions I chop up make me cry. I feel a bit guilty. It's not true. Little gag. Yeah, but I seem to have got away with that, but what I won't get away with, and I wash them, and I wash them again, and again, and again, and again, and there's the smell of it on my hands for days, you know what I mean? But you do have to do it, and here's a tip. When you're washing your hands after chopping an onion, use plenty of soap and water, obviously, but, and here's the freaky bit, use a little bit of toothpaste. It's good for all sorts of toothpaste, even brushing your teeth. Right, I'm going to crank that back up, because the onion is going to cook in the mince. Why am I filling the kettle up? I'll tell you in a second. Because I fancy fruit. No, I'm putting a bit of water in there. You know, it'll drain off, it'll cook off. Don't worry, don't want to cross any borders with any of you hardened chilli makers. Wouldn't like to offend anybody. But we don't want to, you know, destroy the mince almost. We don't want it to evaporate. So I'll thin it down with a bit of some water. I'll let that work up a head of steam, and then, and this is the fun part, well, it will be in a minute, let's bubble that off. Right, we've got the kidney beans, which I normally, sometimes I don't bother cooking these, but I don't know, I think I should really today. You know, the thing about kidney beans is they're so good for you. I don't want to devoid them of the goodness, but I thought today to soften them up a bit, and they'll cook off in the dish. Now this is the remainder of my garlic.
It is nice garlic, bargain hunters. It is lovely garlic. Garlic? It is lovely garlic, bargain hunters. I'm going to say this to you. Don't take this piece of garlic to auction right now. Put it in the cupboard for 10 years. Let it mature. Let its value go up. Forget you've got it. Take it out of the cupboard in 10 years.
Dropped it.
Take it out of the cupboard in 10 years' time, or the lot even. Take it then to auction. Watch its price rise, bargain hunters. You're thinking to yourself, how much you're going to pay for this sprig of garlic today? I'm going to say you will probably pay about 75 pence for 2 whole cloves of garlic. This little sprig of garlic, keep doing that. This little sprig of garlic, bargain hunters, it goes in there, it matures, bargain hunters. It comes out of us in a few years' time. I'm going to say how much you think. Put your hands in your pockets, it's going to cost you about 300 quid. Cheap as chips, let it mature. David Dickinson's tip of the day. P.S. a bit inside.
Right, I think it's time for some fizzy stuff and a little music break. Today's musical interlude is going to be performed by George from Rainbow!
Welcome. Come on, hold my hand. I want to contact the living. Not sure I understand this choice I've been given. You didn't talk to God, but he just laughs at my plans. No, he does. My head speaks a language that I don't understand. I just want to feel real love in the home that I live in. Yes, I do. I got too much life running through my veins, going to waste. I don't want to die, but I ain't keen on living either. Before I arrive, I'm preparing to leave her. I scared myself to death, but I have no desire to do. It's forgotten words. Goo 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 goo. I just want to feel real love in the home that I live in. I do. I've got too much life running through my veins, going to waste.
Yeah, I can only apologise. I had no idea of the content of that video. I had no idea what he was... He forgot his lyrics, didn't he, bless him? Anyway, thank you, George from Rainbow, for turning up today. He turned up, as he said he would. He's a hippo as good as his word. I'll say that for him. Right, what I should do today, I've not done this, we'll go to mobile camp. We will go into unforeseen territory. Here we go. Let's show you how far we've got with this so far. So there we go, that's all it is. It's your minced beef, it's frying there, it's got your onions, you've got your tomatoes there, you've got your kidney beans there. That is as far as we've got at the moment. Monkey's looking a bit dishevelled. I'm sorry about that monkey earlier. I lost my temper with you. You did lose your bloody temper. Right, we'll fit up there then, be good, and I might give you some cherry. I don't want cherry, I want a banana. Well, you can't, I ain't got none. Right. You pour my tomatoes in there. Ooh. Don't you hate that stupid advert as well? Not the meerkat one, it's one of them market comparisons adverts. And that flipping lad on it that thinks he's Russell Brand, he does me head in. Look at me. That bloody poser he is. Don't dislike him, I've never met him. But he comes across as a poor man's Russell Brand wannabe on that advert. What I've just done is added some tomatoes into the mix, and it's looking absolutely, if you don't mind me saying, it's looking fan-blooded bastard. And that is the end of part 2.